batters out. One of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, or we did it, AI's legacy. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the first. You seen them making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I swear I am the first. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Off of play action, it's Watson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A good start. One play, 10 yards. If you're a fan of old-school physical football, that play was for you.
No doubt about it. That play was for anyone who likes football. He did everything properly on that one. Great contact, wrapped it up, unable to jar the ball free. The only disappointment on the play for him.
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack on first down, Watson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. We call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Ready. From the 32 now. Here's first and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there.
His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are on the board first here in Vegas.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Baron Browning, the one who brought him down. These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. From the 25 on 2nd down. Watson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close. And it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning. They got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From midfield, here's Tua. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as they drew it up in practice.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but he couldn't take it away. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they went back to it, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt they'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll get to him short of the 1st down at about the 16.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Perkins. And he is going to have a Broncos 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Broncos. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Faking the give. Now Watson. Rolling to his right.
Targeting more, and he's got him on the crossing pattern.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down.
The partner got locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And some room to roam now. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone.
Oh, good return up past the 30. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Broncos.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
77 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Yeah, double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. To throw is Watson. Again, he finds more.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. To throw again on second down. Watson, he finds his man, complete. It's Joseph.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. The Raiders at 2-8 now in the year. And they come in losers at 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Watson trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Tua. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll run the draw with Dorsett. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Perkins. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Williams again. And good work there defensively. He's able to keep him out of the end zone. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson from the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Carlson is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Chubb.
And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
That bumps us up to a 3-possession game here, and only in the second quarter, Charles. They're trying to put this game out of reach before we even hit the locker rooms for intermission.
What's even tougher is making up 3 possessions against a defense that can make impact plays like this. They don't have this game wrapped up quite yet, but 2 picks already, 1 to the house. I think it's fair to say they're headed in the right direction.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
Here's Watson.
That pass complete to Moore.
And he lost the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Javonte Williams.
His 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list.
And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Over the middle, he's got Myers.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
So they convert on 4th, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
A shotgun snap for Watson.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And some room to maneuver.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line. Here we go.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room.
Ready?
They're in tight formation, not going to take any chances, down to a knee, and that should do it for the first half. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They start the second half here with Williams. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Williams. And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And Ingram holds it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. They got 29 yards that time.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he's got room. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 65 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. Trucks over him. And down inside the 15. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They run it again with Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Javonte Williams with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Raiders 14. Daniel Carlson set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Watson on 1st down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Broncos 52, Raiders 14.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Out of the gun on third down. Here's Tua. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And Chubb try the middle here.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
On 1st down, Watson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson to the right side, and he's got more complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Here's Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
Point after, right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
Ready?
Again, it'll be Dorsett. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
143 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
If you're a wide receiver and they call a screen pass, you're counting on some people being out in front of you blocking. But that play was well diagnosed by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. And they got there and swarmed and finished off the play.
Ball resting on the 9 on 3rd and goal.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Watson. He finds his man complete. It's Joseph. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Watson off play action. That's caught by Myers. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the 1st down against our defense by that decision.
Watson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Let's go. Check right.
On 3rd down, here's Williams.
121 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
And they take a knee.
Ready.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Broncos, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.
Spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Pitch came to Jonah. Yeah, I'm still independent, ain't sold a million records yet. Used to be on my checklist, big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Game time in it. Game time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. I will not bend. Game time. Run it up. 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 You gotta put in that work, dog. I put the kingdom first. I know that you gotta wait for your turn sometimes to build something really sustainable. Work on your catalog so the day that you finally pop off, you'll see it's not just a once off. You put in time, the harvest is ready, it's ripe. I thank God for the payment. That's a solid foundation. When I finally make it, I'll give God all the praises. G.O.D. who conquered evil forces. I don't trust in chariots or fortresses. Yeah, I walk by faith. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Game time in it. Game time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. I will not bend. Game time. Run it up. 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 Run it up.
I just scraped it off the top, cut it off the road, off the curve, off the block. I was already sold, out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. Whenever she calls, know what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two, I paid it on the
Tell me what I gotta do. Pull up in a bucket crew. One for me and one for you. Yeah, like with the roof. I'm off the chain, don't cut me loose. Yeah, I'm off the chain, I'm off the noose. Yeah, getting picked off Bentley white like cotton. Residential so good, my doors don't gotta lock 'em. Watch the dirty money with oxy. I miscount cause I'm off yeah, these bigger than a damn proxy. Call my he said copy. Get that plug like a boogie. I like riches, hit like nookies. You ain't scared of no, but you scared to put on your hoodie. Man, my like Woody.
I just scraped it off the top. Cut it off the road, off the curve, off the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that baby, that meant a lot. When that hush comes, the what I gotta do, I'm moving with a two. I paid it out of full. Yeah.
New toys, convoy. 100 carats on my neck, my boy. That 100 bunny rabbits tryna get my boy. From the cabbage I collect, my boy. Heard you gorillas, let me check, my boy. Say nothing silly, you regret, my boy. Cause we got banana on the my boy. And I can send it in a text, my boy. Thumbs